All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to review what we need to know how to do on the calculator for your test next week. So we're going to go ahead and grab one of the Inspires, and we're going to type these in together. So the first thing you have to be able to do is to take a function and find both the x and the y intercepts. So this function, notice it's the same for both of them. I'm going to cheat a little bit and copy and paste. You're going to type it in. So into a graph page, you're going to type in x squared minus 3x plus 1. And if you need to type that in, go ahead and pause the video. You can use this little squared button next to the 4 for the x. Once you've got it typed in, go ahead and hit enter. All right, so it wanted us to find the x-intercepts and the y-intercepts. The x-intercepts, another name for those are the zeros. So I'm going to start by finding the zeros of the function. So I hit the menu button, and I go to Analyze Graph, and I go to 0, and then it asks lower bound, so I go to the left of it. I don't have to, but that's what I can do that, and then I go to the right of it till it says 0. And hopefully you figured out that everything calculus, we do 3 decimal places. So we would write down for this one 0.381. And remember, you can truncate it. You do not need to round that up because you might make a mistake rounding. All right, then I'm going to do this again for my other 0. So menu, analyze, graph, 0. Go to the left, go to the right. We would write down 2.618. So those would be my x-intercepts. Technically, I would probably want the 0 after them. Now the y-intercept is where the x value is equal to 0. So the way I'm going to do that is, let's see, I need to, let me see if it's under here, menu, analyze, graph. Nope, I can't do value. All right, so I'm going to insert a page here. I get a calculator page. Okay, so you're in your Scratchpad. I did a little document here. So in your Scratchpad, you have that. You have your graphs page and you have your calculator page. So in order to do the y-intercept, what I'm going to do is I'm going to calculate the value of the function at 0, at x equals 0. So I go to my calculator page and I go to var F1, and because that's where my function is stored, and I type in a 0. There's my y-intercept. Let's check that out on the graph. 0, 1 is in fact the y-intercept. So that's the way to confirm it, because it might not necessarily be just one that you can read off the graph. Don't trust that you can read it off the graph. All right, the second thing you have to be able to do with your calculator is you have to be able to find the points of intersection of 2 graphs. You need to also make sure, notice there's a little hint there, make sure you look for the hidden points. And we, again, always use 3 decimal places where we truncate. So I'm going to copy and paste these 2 in, but you can go ahead and type them in. So I'm going to hit Control-C. All right. So the first function that you're typing in is x cubed minus 2x squared minus 1. That gives us a nice cubic function. And again, you can always pause and rewind the video if you didn't catch the function. And then the second one that it gives us is negative x squared plus 4x minus 1. So it appears right in the window that it looks like it crosses 2 times, but there's a hidden one way down here, okay, so that we have to be careful of. I'm going to move these out of the way. So in order to calculate the points of intersection, we hit Menu, Analyze Graph, and Intersection. You go to the left, you go to the right, write down both numbers, 3 decimal places. So we're going to do it again. Menu, Analyze Graph, Intersection, go to the left, go to the right. There's my number. Now, we can still get that hidden one without even really zooming or moving our graph at all. So Analyze Graph, Intersection. I'm going to go to the left. Notice how the word intersection popped up even before I hit that point. And it'll zoom it for us, and we'll find that 3rd point of intersection there. All right, the one other last thing that you have to be able to do, we've actually already done it once, is you have to be given any random function and be able to evaluate it using the calculator. So here's the trick. You want to take this function, don't type it into the calculator page, type it into a graph. So I'm going to type this really ugly function into a graph. So it's 4x. I'd probably hit my control divide first. So 4x divided by 2x squared minus 3. You don't need to worry about the multiplication dots. It'll automatically add those in. And then hit enter. All right. I don't really care about the graph. What I need to do is go back to my calculator page. So you go back to your calculator page on your scratch pad. And we're going to go to var F1. And I don't remember the decimal. It was 3.46. And you type that decimal point in, 3.46. Enter. And then again, 3 decimal places, 0.660. So those are the 3 things you need to be able to do in the calculator section, and you need to be able to get them done in probably 10 minutes or less. So you're going to go ahead and take some time and practice those. Again, there's some extra problems for you to practice.